Hello, this is Case, and today I decided I will just talk about my 16 favorite games for a little bit. Number 16 is Baba Is You. Baba Is You is a puzzle game with very simple rules and very complex outcomes. Look at this image here. It says Baba Is You, that means you are Baba, you get to control this little creature here. And then it says Walls Stop. That means walls stop you and you cannot go through. Now Baba destroys the sentence here, and now he can move through walls. That's exactly how this game works. You put sentences and the sentences become physical reality and you manipulate the sentences, and that's how you manipulate the puzzles. Very intuitive, but also very exhausting to play, which is why I recommend if you play this game, don't play for longer than like 10-15 minutes at a time. I actually beat this game entirely on the toilet, and I think that is the perfect way to experience this. This is or should be a mobile game. Next, number 15. Rollercoaster Tycoon. In this game, you build a park, and this might be the programmer and me enjoying this, and I think this is exactly the type of fun that someone who wants to be a programmer would enjoy. You build this park, and you collect money that way. You want to build something that will make a lot of money, that will attract a lot of people, that people will enjoy, and through getting money, you get more resources to build a bigger park. So it's like you're setting up systems, and the systems have to be good, and this is exactly what a programmer would like, I think. Number 14, Super Paper Mario. This is actually my favorite Paper Mario. I do not enjoy turn-based combat in Paper Marios, unfortunately. I enjoy Paper Marios for the cute interactions, the world building, the funny stuff. So this is just the good parts of Paper Mario for me, with the bad parts removed. And I think if you just throw in together a bunch of fun ideas, a bunch of cool ideas that are like nice to know about, nice to experience, and you remove the annoying parts of your game, you're always going to end up with a good game. And that's exactly what this game does. I very much remember Mimi's mention here. You kind of get jailed somewhere and you have to break out, and the fantasy of being in that place is really cool. I liked it a lot. Number 13, Undertale. Yes, I actually like Undertale. Very similar to Super Paper Mario in that sense, that it's like a cute story, it's fun. I beat this on neutral and on pacifist, which is neutral, you just do whatever you feel like without knowing anything. Pacifist, basically at the end of neutral the game tells you, hey, shouldn't have been killing people, that's kind of mean of you. So yeah. There's also the way of like you kill everyone, and that's like a way to play through, but that's really not fun. So yeah, just skip on that. Number 12, Pokemon Diamond. This was the one I played. Of course, this is on my list because I was a little child at some point, and as a little child I played Pokemon. I think, okay, this is controversial, I think the role of battles in Pokemon games is not to make the battle itself fun, but rather to have this be there as a thing to overcome in order for you to bond more with your creatures. And by bonding with your creatures, being on a journey with your creatures becomes that much more fun. Yeah, and I think that as Pokemon games went on, they less and less understood this concept. I think after like Pokemon Sun and Moon, maybe it completely disappeared. I don't know. I didn't play many Pokemon games actually. I played like Gen 1, Gen 4, Sun and Moon, and then like the last two newest ones. And I did enjoy everything that I played up until Sun and Moon, I would say, but like progressively lost some of its charm. But also, I mean, like everyone's favorite Pokemon game is the first one they played, so I don't know, maybe it's just because I was a small child. Next, number 11, Skyrim. I actually like Skyrim a lot. Now, Skyrim is a big open world. You explore this big open world. There's again a bunch of character interactions, a shit ton of stuff to explore, a bunch of like stories going on. Now the combat in this game is absolutely brain dead. The puzzles in this game are absolutely brain dead. But experiencing the world is just that fun. Now I am hoping that the next Elder Scrolls game, I know this is going to be controversial, but with how large language models have become usable recently, what if you had like a large language model and this one you prompted it to output an action that the character was going to do. And I'm pretty sure mods like this exist for Skyrim. But like, what if you did that and characters had like full personalities and were able to act in the game like almost like real people that way? It would be really jank, I imagine. But I mean, these games are already known for being jank and buggy, so it would be perfectly fitting. It would be like a sandbox full of like fake people. The idea of that just sounds like a really fun game. And in a way, I think that is kind of what Skyrim tried to be, just without the LLM part, which makes us a lot less dynamic, which, you know, takes away a lot. But I think the sequel has potential. Next is Age of Empires. So, again, simplicity that leads to complex outcomes, I think that's beautiful. I think that is why thousands of years after, chess is still played, because it's such a simple thing to grasp with such complex outcomes, and that's exactly what it should be. Now, Age of Empires is the simplest real-time strategy game that I know, and I like real-time strategy games. I would say that. I mean, I don't like them because they're all too complex. I want them to go back to this, go back to Monkey. Just give me the simplest possible thing you can make without losing complexity, or without losing significant complexity. And I'm gonna love it. I know there is an Age of Empires 2 competitive community around, but I'm gonna be 100% honest, there's no way I'm gonna get into that. That is so much, or it looks like so much work to get into, because the game is more complex than Age of Empires 1, but also because there's so many hotkeys and so many things to learn, and you probably have to input like 600 actions per second, and maybe if I was still like 15 or 16, dude, I would love to get into that, but like I just don't have that time. Next on my list, number 9, Portal 1. Yes, Portal 1. Not Portal 2. What's the difference? Portal 1, you have this portal gun here, it can make a blue portal or a purple portal. You jump into one, you come out the other with all your movement intact, and through that they made a bunch of puzzles. Now, the Portal 1 gameplay is practically just like 25 puzzle rooms next to each other. And that would be really annoying and exhausting. But they have some padding rooms, and they have a little bit of story tying it all together. There's this testing robot that's like evil and it's messing with you. And that really ties it together and makes it not exhausting. And why is this better than Portal 2? It's because in Portal 2, my experience was that all the puzzles in Portal 2 is not like this, where it's like, this is progressively more complex puzzles with new mechanics, and by feeding them to you in a certain way, it's gonna make you realize more and more things about what you can do, and your brain's gonna expand. Portal 2 is more like, here's a room, fucking find the one wall you can shoot a bottle at, idiot, and you just look around the room, and dude, I can't do it, I hate it. But Portal 1 is super cool, very much worth playing. After that is Custom Robo Arena DS. This one, probably not very well known. In this game you build a robot. You have like 3 or 4 weapon choices, and you fight other robots. It's got a bit of like an RPG story going on, where you try to save the world from an evil robot that's been built. I wish I could find some actual gameplay in here so I can show you guys what it looks like. Well, maybe this one will actually look up a video. Alright, we might not be looking up a video, but you can see the small thumbnail here, right? Alright, yeah. Yeah, it's the combat's fun. The story is fun. I remember when I first got this game, I played for 35 hours without sleeping. I was a 12-year-old kid. I was over at a friend's house, his friend had unlimited screen time, I didn't have that at home. This game was a banger. I didn't sleep all night, I just played the game until I beat it. Very fun. Number 7 on my list, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. Now, this is basically the exact same as the Diamond Ran, except I like this one better. Especially if you put this in the context of the time. Like, holy shit. Back then, no one was trying to make good games. They were all just trying to make dog shit games. And then Pokemon came along and tried to make a good game. Maybe that's saying this in a very inflammatory way, but like, this was like one of the first good video games that were not just like, you know, making you beat your controller into the ground and like crack your knuckles and like, you know, get angry at the TV screen. It's crazy how much they got right the first time around. Like, the formula of this game is basically unchanged 30 years later, and it's still one of the most popular video game franchises of all time. Even though they basically changed nothing about this, right? They just changed some surface level mechanics that don't even really matter to the video games. Maybe it is a little sad how little Pokemon has improved past the point of red, blue, yellow, but I mean, it's a banger formula, and maybe there just isn't that much you can improve on. I don't know. I wish I worked at Pokemon so I could try things and see what their thought process is, if they're just too scared to make changes or if they're generally just not having a good time. Anyway, moving on to number 6, Pikmin 1. My number 6 game, Pikmin 1, is for me the best Pikmin game. There's only a few types of Pikmin, way less than in the new ones, and that's enough. You're stranded on this planet and you find these little flower creatures, and you farm these flower creatures to make more flower creatures. And you go around collecting ship parts, which is very perilous, exploring the world, trying to manage your time. In this game, generally, you can run out of time and just make the game in a state where it's not completable. At least that's what I thought was going on. I don't know if that's true, but that's the feeling I had playing this game. And that's a very unique experience. You don't really get that much in video games. That is generally just like, you have to be good at this or you are going to lose and be unable to finish the game. Yeah, it's very cool. Next, number 5, Majora's Mask. My number 5 favorite game. Now maybe this should be put together, like Ocarina of Time. Maybe they should share a number 5 spot. But to me, Majora's Mask is the more significant one. To me, it's insane how detailed and alive the world felt. Like, even back then, you know how I mentioned Skyrim earlier and how I like how Skyrim did it? This is a much smaller and more compressed world with a lot more going on. Now, I've never 100%ed this game, but having never 100%ed it, it felt like no matter who I talk to, there's always something important going on with them that you can look into and figure out and like get new insights into what's going on in the world. The freeze-day cycle reset mechanic was perfect for that, because when you play other games, you do a quest with someone, the quest is done, and now they're just back to a normal NPC repeating the same 2 lines of text, right? In this, with the time resetting, it actually makes sense that it happens, and they don't feel like fake people for it. And that is so cool. And yeah, the fantasy of all of this is super cool. Now, number 4, Sonic Adventure 2. Oh yeah. This is also an early video game for me. I like the Char Garden a lot. The Char Garden in this was very cool. I like actually all 3 styles of gameplay. I know some people hate like 1 or 2 of them. I like all 3. I think most people just want to play Sonic and Shadow, but no, we don't need that. Treasure hunting is actually cool. Maybe playing as Tails is kinda lame, because Tails stages kinda suck. What I like about this also is with Sonic, the way he plays is you can just kinda run forward. You are free to approach level however you want, with no obligation to investigate or explore anything unless you feel like it. It is purely intrinsic if you want to explore the level. The aspect of trying to get all A ranks in this game is also super cool. I did it actually twice, and like it's like speedrun optimization thing. Like, this is actually one of those games where it's somewhat tricky to get A ranks. It's not completely free, unlike many of the other Sonic games I've seen. Like, even in Sonic Heroes, it was pretty easy to comparatively. So having to actually try a little bit to get there, at least, you know, when I was a 9-year-old kid, I had to try quite a bit. Very cool. Number 3. Now, this one is going to be a game that barely anyone knows. It is Bopl. This game is about creativity. You get you get abilities, you get 3 different abilities, and all abilities in this game interact with each other in certain ways. And your goal is to figure out how you can use your abilities and the interactions with your opponent's abilities to kill them. It's all about creativity. Playing this game kind of feels like telling each other jokes, and whoever makes the other person laugh first wins, right? But like, you have a lot of tools here, and it's. You ever seen those Minecraft block battles and nonsense videos? That's what this feels like, except it's not nonsense. Unfortunately, I have to say that to enjoy this game, you do need to have a soul. If you don't have a soul, you cannot enjoy this game. But if you do have a soul, very much recommend playing this game. After that is Sonic Adventure 1. Yeah, I know. I know I already have Sonic Adventure 2 on here, but Sonic Adventure 1 is a banger. It's so good. I like it a lot, except for big story. Actually, I do like a big story, but like in a different way than the rest of the game. This also has the freedom feeling of Sonic Adventure 2, just kind of turned up. You just run through. It's very cool in that regard. I like this a lot better than the new Sonic games, and that's... Can I find anything here? Let me find some levels here. Yeah, so this is very different from modern Sonic games where you just kind of always press the run button. Oh my god, the camera. What? Okay, this guy sucks. It's more like a 3D platformer where you go forward. If you played my remake Super Mario 64 Land, I tried to do something very similar to this, except in 64 Land you actually can go explore and collect stars, and like you're kind of encouraged to. In this, no, you don't do shit. You just go forward. That's all you need to do, and you just use the geometry to your advantage, and it works pretty well. Now, of course, on number 1, I have to put Mario 64. You know all of Mario 64. This is all the cool stuff from Sonic Adventure 1 with the overworld that you explore. I actually forgot to mention this. Sonic Adventure 1 is an overworld, and it's cool. This has all of that, and it has all the cool stuff from the emerald hunting that I praised in Sonic Adventure 2 that I also liked, you know. But it has none of the annoyances of the less fun game modes in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Compared to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, it has no Char Garden. You know, that's kind of sad, but it's fine. It's still fun to play. It's one of my first video games ever. And I remember when I was a kid, I only played it at a cousin's house because I didn't have a Nintendo 64. So this game always had like a special place in my mind as a kid. I was like, man, I wonder what's going on in this game. I want to see. Until eventually I was old enough to have my own N64, and I played this game by myself. So this game was, for a long time, was like really mysterious in my mind. And of course, there are some really fun aspects to this game other than the mystery aspect, like mastering the movement. That's like a whole dimension of fun in of itself. This has a very deep movement, much deeper movement than the Sonic games I mentioned. And of course, in that regard, it's very different. And oh my god, this is a screenshot of my mod. Yeah. I hope to recreate the mystery and the movement mastering from this and the running forward from Sonic Adventure 2 and 1 in my own games. And I don't know, the feeling alive from Majora's Mask, you know, all the favorite aspects of all my favorite games, I'm trying to recreate them in one game, I guess, without making it feel incohesive, which is a challenge in of itself. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my ramble. Until next time, bye!